What's up everyone? My name is REDRUP. This is the It's Not a Phase podcast, and on this episode I'm joined by Downcast vocalist Liam Edwards. We talk about the band's brand new EP, Nothing Left to Give, covering songs by Backstreet Boys and My Chemical Romance, bringing on guest features for two of the songs on the EP, the comic book style artwork for the EP's cover, and loads more. But before we dive into all of that, if you want to help keep this podcast going and growing, then here's a few ways that you can help support it. You can hit subscribe or follow wherever you're checking this out, and that way you also don't miss out on anything new that I put out. You can leave a review or a comment. You can follow the podcast on social media. If you'd like to get email updates, then you can join the mailing list. If you want to go one step further, then there's a Patreon and there's a web store if you want to grab some merch. And I've also just set up a Discord server, and it'd be really great to see you over there as part of that community. To make things super easy, I've shoved links in the description box of this episode to everything that I've just mentioned, or you can head to itsnotaphase.co.uk. And now, with all that out of the way, here's my chat with Liam Edwards of Downcast. What's up everybody? Thank you for joining me on this episode of the It's Not a Phase podcast, where I'm joined by Liam of Downcast. How's it going, dude?
Good, thanks. Yeah, really good.
Yeah, dude, I'm glad to have you on. Brand new EP, Nothing Left to Give. When everyone hears this, it comes out today. So everyone can go and check that out now. How are you feeling about, getting these songs out there now for people to hear?
Really good. Yeah, it's really exciting. Like, it was originally just going to be, because I don't know if you've sort of seen the track list, but it's got some covers and it's got some original singles. They were just going to be like standalone things.
Okay.
But we thought, why not just put them all together as an EP? I think that was actually Jamie, who I assume you've spoken to as well, to sort of arrange this. But that was his idea, actually. I think from like a PR perspective, maybe it's easier to work with. But I think it was a good shout. But yeah, really excited. Like there's a crazy mix of different sounds on the EP. Like no one song sounds like the other. Even the cover choices. So we got like Backstreet Boys and My Chemical Romance, just so different. But yeah, it's a crazy mix of songs. We haven't got a particular sound, but
there's like advantages, isn't there, of like if you package something as an EP, or you send stuff as singles, or you put an album out. They've all got like their pros and cons, haven't they? So it's just kind of like, what do you want to kind of go with?
Yeah, you hear so many different things these days about like which one's best as well. So you just got to kind of go with your gut, I think.
Yeah, shoot your shot and hope for the best, really, sometimes.
Yeah, we're hoping.
Yeah. Well, this EP comes, I think it's just like a little over a year after the last EP, What the Fuck Happened. So when, I know it's only like two original songs and then the two covers in between those two songs anyway, but when did it kind of start piecing together like these songs that are on this EP?
So Home, which is the single that will come out today when this is out, that was originally going to be on our last EP, which was WTF Happened, What the Fuck Happened. Just remembered I can swear.
Yeah, swear all you want, man.
That was originally going to be on that, and we started recording it, and we just never finished it. So it very much sounds like it should be on that EP as well. It's got more of like the typical sort of pop punk upbeat sound to it. And then the first song though that we finished for this one was actually the My Chemical Romance cover, which was just something we were going to put out just to sort of fill the gap in between singles, and that was like towards the end of summer last year, and then we went back then to record the rest around sort of April this year, and then sort of other things started to come together, like the features and everything, and it just all pieced together quite nicely in the end.
Just kind of like flowed through, I guess, like pretty naturally, like you say.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it was like last minute decisions, like especially with Home, like it was already done. I had recorded the second verse and second chorus myself, as in the vocals, and then I just messaged Sammy because I just had this. To be fair, when we were recording it, I was like, this has kind of got the vibe of like an old Waster song. So I kind of had that in the back of my mind anyway, just kind of like the lyrical content, and sort of like I could kind of like hear it in his voice almost. But I just thought, because at that point we'd already sorted the feature from Jessie on Nothing Left to Give. Just thought I'd message him, and at first he was kind of like, I'm not really looking to do any more features at the moment. I've done quite a few or whatever. But then
Yeah.
he was like, "Oh, just show me the song," and then he was like, "Oh, actually, okay." And then eventually, he agreed to be on it. So some stuff like that was just kind of like on a whim. Whereas like the feature with Jessie, we got her to record her vocals before we'd even taken it to the studio. Like that was
Oh,
just
really?
like a
Okay.
demo. So she did her final vocals on a demo, and then obviously we took those and put them on the final track. But it was, yeah, just kind of like piecing things as we went along, really.
Right. Right. Okay. Well, yeah, you talked there about the title track that Jessie's on from Dream State.
Yeah.
Um, so how did she kind of get involved? Like, at what point did you kind of think like, hey, we want to kind of get like Jessie on this track?
So she did merch at our EP release show for our
Right.
last EP that came out. And then she did a live feature on our song Mistakes That I've Made. And obviously we loved it. It was amazing. And then she just mentioned that she does features. She's open to doing a feature with us. So then I was like, oh, well, we have got this demo that we've got. I think I'd recorded like vocals for it apart from the bit that she's on. Um, so I was like, we've got this. I think you'd work well with it. Obviously, being in a heavier band. So I don't really scream. I've been trying lately to kind of try and learn, but I just kind of shouted the lyrics as a kind of guide for her to scream. So we didn't really
Yeah.
know how exactly it was going to sound. Um, and then obviously she did some singing as well and some harmonies, which are great, and it's all layered. It sounds huge as an end product, but yeah, I just sort of sent it across. I was like, we've got this. What do you think? It's the heaviest song that we've done to date as well. So even when she sort of put that idea forward, she might have been expecting it to be more of a pop punk song. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, really, really happy with how that turned out as well.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you. It sounds like your most like metal leaning song as well. Like it's
Yeah, it's
heaviest and like
got a
it's
bit of
got
a
like
dad rock vibe at the start, I think, with that riff.
a little bit, but it's like it just sounds like really like compared to yours of like kind of beefy, and then you kind of got that
Yeah,
like guitar lead kind of going in there quite a bit of it as well.
yeah, yeah,
Was
yeah.
that kind of
Really,
like where you were going with it? Like you wanted to kind of go in a more metal direction without actually, sticking true to like what Downcast is
yeah.
already.
I mean, like, I feel like the only constant with Downcast over the years has been that everything's been kind of emo. Like we have kind of, even when it was like primarily pop punk, I feel like we did like the kind of like cheesy upbeat pop punk, then we did the more like serious tone pop punk as well. So we've never stuck to a specific sound, but I don't want to say we're gonna take it in a heavier direction because we change our minds all the time, but it was
Yeah,
kind of discussed that that was what we would like to do, and that's where that song came from. So it might be that we lean more into that in the future potentially. Um, because as far as originals goes, that is technically the most recent one that we've um finished
yeah,
in terms of demos. Because obviously, like I said before, Home actually came earlier. It just never got the final recording done as soon as we would have liked. But I think that just worked out for the best because I'm so glad Sammy's on it, and I don't think that would have happened otherwise.
yeah. Well, I guess like that's kind of the benefit of like an EP or doing singles, right? That you can kind of experiment a bit more and kind of like
Yeah,
how far can we push our sound in kind of this direction? How does it sound? How do we feel about it when we start playing it live and stuff like that? So I guess that's the benefit of, like you say, doing this EP and kind of exploring that area a little bit more.
yeah, yeah. I'm really excited to play it live as well because we've not done that yet. But we've got some shows early next month that we're going to be playing both new songs on, so that'll
Yeah.
be good.
So how are you gonna do the Jesse's bit then? If you don't typically scream, you're just gonna shout it like you
No,
did in the
no, we,
like the
we have got
blueprint,
some features. So there's an artist called Henka that's playing Facedown London.
right?
She's playing the metal stage, so she's gonna come on and do Jesse's part.
Right.
And then we're gonna get one of the boys from Trashed to do it in Bristol as well.
Okay, cool. That'd be good.
Yeah.
Kind of give it
Otherwise,
a different spin each time, then, doesn't it? Like, because they're obviously different vocalists to Jesse.
yeah, it'd be interesting. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, otherwise I would just kind of shout it, I guess, until I was practicing screaming a little bit, but I thought because we've got shows coming up, I don't want to ruin my voice. So I've kind of put that
Yeah.
to rest for a little bit because I feel like there's a lot that could go wrong. Obviously, I appreciate it's not something that sort of comes overnight, but yeah, I would like to do that in the future. To be fair, so that's something that people may hear from me at some point.
Yeah, it's something you can always like just pick up as you go along. Just don't like you say, push it when you've got some shows around the corner.
Yeah, yeah. No, I've had that nightmare before, like on tour, where I've just pushed my voice way too hard on the first night and just had no voice for the rest of the tour. And
Yeah,
it's just like the worst thing as a singer, isn't it? And
yeah,
like
not
obviously wanting to put on the best show as well. So yeah, I try to avoid that at all costs, basically.
yeah, but the worst thing you could do really as a vocalist, like that's your instrument, right? So
Oh yeah, especially when I'm not playing any other instrument as well. I'm just
yeah,
singing. So yeah,
yeah,
yeah, got
yeah.
to keep it
Well,
as good as possible.
you live and you learn, don't you? So
That's it. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Well, it looked like the video was quite like fun to make as well. It looks like you're in like an abandoned old church or something like that.
Yeah, St Mary's Church, that's in Tynton. So I grew up in it's a little village in South Wales.
Right.
So yeah, I made the band climb up a big hill with all our gear to film the video there.
Oh
But
wow.
yeah, it kind of like we went there to record some reels, like just some like random content, and we were like, this would actually be worth doing a full video here at some point. So that's kind of where that idea came from. And then obviously it's kind of like tripping, and we've got the bold green and red going on. It just kind of like it's like a visual representation of kind of like the vibe or like, the imagery that I thought the song kind of conveys in terms of like it's like a deep dive into my mind and just like it's kind of like on those days where you get home and you maybe like sleep deprived, feeling a little crazy. Um, it kind of is all about that, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah, we've kind of gone with the yeah, like I say, you kind of got like a green and red thing going on. And it's kind of it's not like a constant motion of video, is it? It's kind of like some parts are like I don't know how to put it, but like static shots, if
Yeah,
that makes
yeah.
sense. Yeah.
There's quite a lot of like detail shots as well. Like I think there's one where it kind of like focuses on the ivy on the wall and stuff. So yeah, it's I suppose if you sort of watch the video, you just someone just sort of put it on, it was halfway through, you'd be like, oh, where even is that kind of thing? It's probably not that obvious. And a lot of it was because we shot it over 2 days. So we were at St Mary's Church, um, until like 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning shooting that.
Wow.
And then the
Okay.
next morning, then we went to a studio in Bristol to do some just like against a black backdrop. Um, I think the main reason for that was like because we had Jessie come down to do it, and I was like, I don't really want to like make her go to an abandoned church.
Yeah.
We have no idea what the weather's gonna be like. It could be pissing down with rain or something. So I thought, at least then we've got sort of a controlled environment to do that in. She might not
Yeah.
have minded, I don't know, but it just felt a bit better doing it
Yeah.
that way.
So when did you do that then? Was it quite like cold weather like, around that time or
It was like towards the end of summer, I
right?
think. Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah. I mean, British weather is always risky, isn't it? Like you
You
never
never
fully
know, do
know.
you? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it could have still rained.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it was
Well,
really fun.
well, the video for Home looks pretty good as well. Like, obviously Sammy appears in the form of a puppet in the video, so
Yeah, there's a funny
that's pretty
story
fun.
behind that actually. So, because originally he was gonna come and do the video like in person, but I guess like our schedules didn't align or whatever. So it was a few days before he couldn't do it. So we were like, what are we gonna do? Like we got the studio booked. So my girlfriend's never made a puppet before, and she made that in a
Right.
day.
Oh, really? It's pretty
Yeah,
good
yeah,
for a
yeah.
day.
Like she'd done like a lot of like crocheting, and she's made like little models and stuff before, but never a puppet. But she was we went to Hobbycraft and just bought a bunch of stuff.
Right.
I just cut stuff out. She made it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, really really happy with that. Showed it to Sammy, and he was like, "Ah, I'm so glad you didn't just like AI me in or something." So
Yeah.
he was pretty pleased with that as well.
Yeah, it's an interesting way of taking it, like, because you could have easily just said to like Sammy, like, can you just shoot a video of you just singing along to the song and we'll just splice it in somehow or
Yeah,
something like
because
that.
yeah, we could have put him on like the TV, the old TV or something. That was a
Yeah.
possibility, but I just thought I don't know, it was a funny idea, I
Yeah. I think it went well.
guess.
I think it was
Yeah,
good. Yeah.
thank you. Yeah, yeah.
You kind of gone like with I don't know if this was intentional or not, but obviously that video, the main color is like green as well with some bits of red, like you're wearing like all red. So was that
Yeah.
like intentional to have a similar color scheme to the two
Yeah,
videos?
just kind of wanted to like tie in with the other video and our EP cover as well. It's got a lot of like the primary colors are green and red.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, just I think it's good to have something that people can kind of like identify you by, or like at least like identify that era of the band. So that's sort of the reasoning behind it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's a kind of a a retro feel to that video as well, isn't there? Because obviously you've got the kind of the box TV, and then you've got
Yeah,
that the PlayStation 1 kind of sitting underneath that as well.
yeah,
Was that kind of the
yeah.
aim as well, to have like a retro feel to it?
It was, yeah. I did a lot of planning before that to kind of like make sure like I had very like specific shots in mind, like the fisheye sort of pointing down at me and Ben singing into the camera,
Yeah,
and obviously the shots like of the TV that we did all of that live, so like me performing on the TV, but yeah, just wanted to have like a kind of like 90s early 2000s um retro kind of vibe, like the kind of thing you would have seen on like I don't know MTV back in the day or like
yeah,
Karangskas when you would turn it on. Just wanted to because it's quite a an upbeat, um, nostalgic kind of sounding song. I think it is kind of like reminiscent of like it reminds me of like in terms of like the lyrical content, it's kind of like it's kind of got that like angst to it, almost like like similar to like say like Simple Plan
yeah,
and stuff like that, where it's just kind of like, oh, I'm sick of being grown up or
yeah,
whatever. I'm sick of my job. I hate this. It's got that kind of vibe to it. Um, so I just yeah, that's kind of the direction we were going with it.
yeah. Well, it's kind of retrospective in the lyrics as well, isn't it? Because I can't remember the exact lyrics, but it's something along the lines of like my old clothes that my mum should have thrown away or something like that.
Yeah, I used
So
to
it's kind
go
of
home
looking
and
back.
yeah, it is. Yeah, I mean, it's literally I used to go home and like I'd open up where my old bedroom was, and it would just be like piles of old clothes I've never worn, never gonna wear. So that's kind
Yeah,
of what that was referencing. But yeah, it's funny because like people say pop punk songs are about wanting to leave your hometown, so I've written one about wanting to go back.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, it's just kind of about being fed up with like adult life, and it's not like too serious, I don't think. But
mm,
obviously, it's based on like genuine feelings, I guess.
yeah, yeah. It's definitely got that like pop punk feel, like throughout it. Like you say, there's always the stereotypical like I want to leave my hometown, just me and my friends. Where like I don't need anything else. But
Yeah, yeah,
so I definitely get that vibe, and in the video as well, like you say, kind of got like a retro feel to it of that. I guess you could argue like the peak 2000s pop punk videos of like Simple Plan, Sum
yeah.
41, New Found Glory, all that kind of stuff.
That kind of thing, yeah. And a
Yeah,
lot of it, like, there's always ideas that get thrown around on the day as well. Because I think originally, like, the puppet was just gonna be on the TV, and then we
right.
sort of like had it come up behind us on the sofa and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, but it turned out to be. It was always going to be a fun video, but like it just came out so funny. Like we couldn't have planned a lot of that. It just kind of happened. But I think that just happens when we all get together and just like throw ideas around.
Yeah, yeah. Is the puppet gonna make an appearance at any shows, do you think, when you do the song, or
Maybe.
maybe?
I didn't think about it. Yeah, actually, no.
Yeah,
Jeff did mention that. Actually, he was like, "Oh, we could bring it on stage." We'd have to think about like the logistics of doing that, I guess. But
yeah.
yeah, I guess I could just be singing with it.
Potentially, yeah, yeah. I'm not quite sure how you do it because obviously puppet's not, human size, is it? So I don't know how you
No,
get.
no.
I'm sure you'd work something out.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't turn down that idea. So yeah, potentially could
Yeah.
happen in the future.
Yeah. So yeah, obviously there's those two original songs, and then there's the two covers on there. You've got
Mm,
Just Want You to Know by
yeah.
Backstreet Boys, and then I Don't Love You by My Chemical Romance. Both very different songs like the originals. What was it like for you guys putting a kind of like downcast spin on those two tracks?
So, yeah, it was really fun. Like the first one we recorded was the "I Don't Love You" because the reason we did that was because we did a whole cover set of My Chemical Romance
Right.
quite a while ago now, which was that just took so much more practicing and like preparation than we could have ever anticipated. So that was so stressful as a band, but it was really fun. But that's the reason we did that to kind of like promote that we were doing that.
Right.
Because it was originally out and now we've sort of taken it down to them release again with the EP. But and then just want you to know, I sent that song to Ben ages ago and didn't really, he liked it obviously. Then he sort of brought it back up and he was like, "This sounds like the Backstreet Boys tried to do a pop punk song." it's the most pop punk song that they've got, and I think he felt that it'd been like kind of overlooked. So he's like, why don't we do it? Add our own sort of like emo grit to it. And I was, everyone was down, but it was very much like his baby. Like even with the video, like I usually sort of take the lead with like video preparation ideas, like directing on the day, whereas this was all him, and he was just
Right.
loving it. So like I've never seen him take anything so seriously. Like we were doing like choreographed dance moves. We had the white background. We recreated the scene where they're like in the car with the convertible. So we were filming that actually outside of. I don't think so. Kieran, who does our videos, his dad owns a garage on like some random estate, but I don't think he actually lives there. So we had this huge, loud, noisy fan filming us, so like
Right.
our hair was flying, our wigs were flying around. And then some guy came out after one take, and he was just having a massive go at us because the fan was so loud. And it wasn't even late; it was probably like I don't know, maybe like 6 o'clock.
Right.
But yeah, we had to do that in one take because that guy was just going crazy on us. But yeah, it was really fun, like because we'd never done anything like that before. Really, we didn't really know how the covers were going to go down. Um, but yeah, it's been an experience. It was really fun. Doing a recreation of an old boy band video. To be honest, it's not something we saw Downcast ever doing, but it's all part of sort of the. We've been doing a lot of experimentation, I suppose, with like different sounds, like obviously trying heavier stuff as well. Just seeing what people like and doing what we like most of all, really.
Yeah, I mean, just watching the video, it looks like you guys having a blast doing it anyway.
Yeah, the
Like,
behind the
so
scenes as well, it just makes no sense. It's just Nathan, who was doing behind the scenes filming, just like stitched a bunch of stuff together. So if anyone goes and watches that, I don't know what people will think. It's the most random thing. But yeah,
yeah.
no, we had a good time doing it.
Yeah, I guess with things like that, you kind of got like a blueprint to go off anyway, don't you? Because obviously the original like videos exist of those bands doing that, and
That's
like
it,
Blink
yeah.
182 on All the Small Things, they take the piss out of like the boy band
Yeah, yeah,
music videos and stuff as well. So kind of reminded
exactly,
me of
yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's really cool, yeah.
So you said you did like a My Chemical Romance show, and that's kind of where the that cover came from. So what other songs did you do during that show?
I know we opened with I'm Not Okay, finished with the Black Parades.
Hmm.
Um, it was mostly songs from the Black Parade and Three Cheers. I think we
Right.
did Na Na Na, which was from a more recent album.
Yeah.
But we were trying to like, do all the classics really, which I think those are their two biggest albums. But obviously that was huge boots to fill. Especially like I don't think like we were the typical band that people would expect a My Chemical Romance cover set from, especially
Right.
at the time with like what else we were releasing. But no, it went really well. It was kind of like it's not something we don't often do cover sets. Obviously, it was like a one-off thing that we did for fun. But
Yeah.
yeah, really, really fun time. It was
Yeah.
worth all the preparation we put into
Yeah. Yeah.
it.
So what's your favorite My Chem album? Or do you have not have one?
Probably the Black Parade. I just remember like I got it on Christmas as a kid. I forget how old I would have been, but yeah, remember having it under the tree and unwrapping it, and just got fond memories of listening through that. And obviously, it was back in the day where you would just like listen to albums in full and sort of
Yeah.
listen to them as they were intended to be listened to, rather than just sort of skipping and picking out songs that you may have heard on TikTok or whatever. So yeah, really, really fond memories of that album. I say
Yeah.
that's it sounds like I bet that's loads of people's favorite album, I suppose. But
Yeah.
but yeah, yeah,
Well, I mean, it was a huge album, wasn't it? And like you say,
yeah, yeah,
back then, like you just sit there and you could listen to the album and like read the lyric book as it's going on and stuff like that. So
yeah. And I remember like even in school, like the kids that didn't listen to that sort of music, so like the kids that listened to like chart music or like rap or whatever was sort of popular at the time, like even they liked it. So it was kind of crazy how it was sort of like bringing people together in that way.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, you've done those two covers. Were there any other covers you were considering that yeah, like why did you choose those two songs in particular to cover and record and release?
Um, so with my chem, I remember Ben said, because I don't think Ben is like hugely into My Chemical Romance, and obviously we wanted to pick a song that everyone liked. I
Hmm.
remember he said that it must have been back when like people used MSN, and do you remember like you could put like the song you were listening to?
Oh, it's like your little status
Yeah.
like
So
message.
he
Yeah,
said that
yeah.
he obviously must have been so young when he did this, and I'm apologize to him if I'm not telling the story correctly. But I think what he said was he was breaking up with a girl, or he didn't like a girl or something. Then he didn't know how to tell her, so he put that as his song that he was listening
Oh
to.
wow, that's harsh.
Brutal, yeah. But that was one song that he sort of was familiar with and liked from back in the day. So, and I think when we were doing all of the covers for the set, that was one that particularly suited my voice as well.
Right,
So it just seemed right to do that one. And it turned out, it's not the sort of most upbeat song, but it is a good sing-along song, so it does work well when we do it live.
right.
Um, and then, yeah, just want you to know, that was just kind of, yeah, that was all Ben, but it, yeah, worked out real well.
Would you, if you were to cover another track, what would you pick as like the next track that you guys would cover?
Like in general, or My Chemical Romance track.
Any song in the world.
Wow. Okay. Um, there are so many good Bring Me songs that like would be really fun to cover. Like Drown, for example, is just like everyone knows it. It's such a good sing along. It's kind of like a timeless song. Like I feel like even in years to come, people will look back and that's not going to be like cringy. It's just got that feel to it. It's like it's got that. It's just it's such a just a really good song, I suppose, and a great
Mm,
sing along. So yeah, maybe that. I don't think we will, just because like we're not really focusing on doing covers, and we've done quite a few. We don't want to become like,
a covers band.
yeah, we're not like our last night sort of thing. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
it was cool sort of delving into that and seeing how we can kind of make songs sound a little bit more downcast.
yeah, just experimenting, like you said. Like you've done
Yeah,
different things on this EP, haven't you? So
yeah,
that makes
exactly.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we talked. Well, you mentioned briefly like about the EP artwork. It's kind of gone like with a kind of classic comic book style, like you did with the previous EP as well. Like it's similar kind of artwork style.
Yeah, yeah.
Talk to me about that. Why have you gone kind of down that route for these EPs?
I mean, we just loved the art style of the previous EP. And the reason for that was kind of like to fit in with the whole like nostalgic kind of vibe. Um, the EP title, which was back then was What the Fuck Happened? It was kind of like, what the hell happened? Like, it's kind of looking back and being like, everything was great, and I'm older, and so many things have gone wrong, kind of thing. So it kind of makes sense to have that kind of like something that looks like a early 2000s like cartoon, say. And I think the reason we did it for the EP really was because just because we loved the art style so much. And we thought, we could maybe in that art style do something a little bit more sort of serious toned, although you know, it ended up being like a mash of everyone's ideas anyway.
Right.
The new one, so whether it's serious or not, I don't know. Like it was the original idea for the Nothing Left to Give EP. I think was like I was like, oh, what if we have something like that? It was never serious thinking about it. It was gonna be us dressed in like our like baggy jeans and like sort of like skater sort of style clothing, with like sword and shield holding up to a dragon. I think was my original idea.
Right.
It's like just something crazy. And then Ben was like, what if instead of a dragon we have like a kind of like villain person sort of thing. I think his thought process behind that was like we've got two features on the EP. Um, so we don't want it to look like any particular person. So he was like, what if we make it kind of like androgynous, kind of like covered the face. So it doesn't really like it's not Sammy, it's not Jessie, it's just like it kind of just represents like other people being involved.
Right.
So that's where that came from. And then because we weren't me and Ben are topless in that EP cover.
Oh
Um,
yeah, yeah.
and I think that was I was like, do you remember ages ago you said like it'd be really funny if we just like had us sort of depicted as these like really hench cartoons. Um, and then we were just talking about that. And then that's where that came from. So again, sort of another idea just thrown in there. Um, and then yeah, it was just sort of ideas being thrown around. Like it's sort of like got a sort of like dystopian post-apocalyptic sort of feel to it. Um, And yeah, it's kind of like the perfect because there's elements of it like with the fire and stuff, and like the skulls kind of like give it like it's got an almost like it leans more towards what you'd expect from like a heavy band, and then you've got
Yeah.
obviously like us in like baggy jeans with like no fear tops on, which is more like the skatery kind of style that we brought forwards with the previous EP. So it's kind of like a just a blend of everything, I guess. But it
Yeah.
kind of works. It's really random though, but
Yeah.
yeah, I love it.
I guess it's kind of like when you're saying that you're experimenting with sounds on the EP, you've kind of done that via the artwork as well. Like kind of the singer, that's like the big villain character in front of you,
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
represents a bit more like what you would expect of a stereotypical like metal singer. So that kind of shows the
yeah,
heavier territory you decided to go
yeah,
for with the title track, and then
yeah,
like
yeah,
say with the like skater pop punk kind of side, that's like your I guess stereotypical kind of blueprint of Downcast, and obviously you shoot from there. So it just sounds like whether you intentionally did or not, you're kind of bringing them all in like subtly in the artwork as well.
yeah, yeah. That's how it turned out, and I think somewhat, yeah, that would have been intentional, but it was just it was kind of us throwing ideas around for quite a long time, and it's that's kind of how it turned out. But yeah,
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 definitely.
yeah. Well, I think you worked with is it a new producer this time, Josh Gallop. You went with for this EP. What was it
Yeah,
like working
yeah.
with him?
Really good, yeah. Like he used to be in a band called Foxdraw, which they weren't like a super heavy band, but they did a lot more sort of heavier stuff than us. And he
Yeah.
was in heavier bands. I want to say Ghost of a Thousand was the name of one of them um, previously. So he's always been sort of leaning towards the heavier side. So he had a lot of ideas in terms of like how to just make it sound heavier, add a more serious tone, and things like that. So yeah, he's
Right.
definitely a good person to work with, especially for like Nothing Left to Give,
Yeah.
the single.
Yeah, definitely. And then you've got a show on December 5th,
Yeah,
Facedown in London. How are you feeling about that?
really excited. Because
Yeah.
I remember going to Facedown. It must have been like 10 years ago. I might be exaggerating, but it was a long time ago. And just thinking like this is so cool because a lot of club nights do have like the whole gig club night thing, but that's the only one I've been to that I can remember where they like bring out the band halfway through the night because we're playing at like 1 in the morning or
Oh,
12:45.
really?
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So it's like everyone's gonna be clubbing, then it's just like, oh, the band's here. So obviously it's like a lot of pressure in that sense because obviously we've got to be good and we don't
Yeah.
want to clear the room, um but yeah, no, really excited because I remember going to it years ago thinking that's so cool, and yeah, I've wanted to play it for a long time, and yeah, just really excited to be finally doing it.
Yeah. Something off the bucket list, I guess.
Yeah, 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 exactly, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And what else have you guys got planned? Well, I guess that's, I don't know if you've got anything else in 2025, but I guess 2026 as well. What's in the pipeline?
Yeah, I mean, it's just those gigs. So we got yeah London that you mentioned, and the following day we've got a Bristol gig supporting Trashed, who are a Bristol-based band.
Right.
But yeah, in 2026, I mean, we've been demoing songs for a long time, so we've got I've got a whole Dropbox full of demos. So we will be putting out new music at some point. There's not like a solidified plan, I suppose, or a
Right.
schedule as to when that'll be. But that'll be kind of the next steps for us. But there are also other gigs to be announced here and there, potential festivals as well. Everything's kind of up in the air though. But yeah, we plan to be playing a lot throughout 2026 and hopefully put out new music as well.
Awesome. Like the usual busy year for Downcast, then I guess.
Yeah, yeah, hopefully, yeah, fingers crossed. I mean, we try to just do as much as we can. Like, we don't tend to like turn down opportunities, so yeah, whatever comes our way, really.
Yeah. So if anyone wants to book you, get in touch, and it's
Exactly,
pretty much
yeah,
a guess.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, exactly, yeah, yeah,
Awesome. Well, Liam, thank you so much for coming on and having a chat with me about, the band, the new
yeah.
EP, and everything that's coming up. Before I let you go, any final words? Anything you want to say or plug? Floor's yours.
I was gonna say yeah, thank you for having me on as well. But yeah, just go stream because it'll be out today when this is out. Go stream our new EP, Nothing Left to Give. If you don't like the first track, you might like the second, third, or fourth. They're all different. And just let us know what you think. Like comment, message us, whatever. We like to hear that feedback. And obviously the music videos as well are all on YouTube. We put so much time into them as well, so we'd love to see what people think. If you love it or hate it, let us know. Yeah.
Yeah, just don't be too brutal if you don't like it.
It's all right. I could take
Yeah.
it.
Well, also, thanks again. And yeah, hopefully I get to see you guys when you're in my neck of the woods or at a future show or something like that.
Yeah, hopefully so. Yeah, we'll keep you updated. But yeah,
Awesome,
thanks for
dude.
having me on.
Of course, dude. Yeah, take care of yourself.
Real. All right, take care.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye.
And that's it. Thanks so much for tuning in to It's Not a Phase. If you enjoyed this episode, then don't forget to hit subscribe so you don't miss out on any future episodes. Leave a thumbs up if you're watching on YouTube. Follow the podcast on social media, and maybe even join the Patreon or grab some merch from the store. You can find everything that you need at itsnotaphase.co.uk. That's itsnotaphase.co.uk. Thanks again. Hopefully catch you on the next one. And remember, it's not a phase, it's a lifestyle.